Hi, it's Rob from the Brush and Boltgun. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to freehand flames. If you'd like to support the channel, our Ko-fi and Patreon page are linked below. Now onto the video. The first colour we're going to use is Citadel Averland Sunset. What we're going to do is we're going to do the basic flame shapes on the shoulder pad here. Now the way that I start these is I do a kind of angular S shape. So you have it bulging out to the left, then it curves back in again to the right and then down to the bottom. And each of the flames will be this rough kind of almost S or reverse S shape. So you can see here you have that curve starting on the top left. It curls down, bulging out on the right hand side, and then where the reverse S part will come in is at the bottom of it. You'll have that little rounded base to it, which makes the final part of it. What I try and do is vary these a bit, so you'll get a couple going the same way. You get a couple going different directions, so you can see the regular S shape there on the right hand side, curling round. You work your way along the surface, basically giving this rough flame kind of shape. So obviously you can take a lot of time doing this if you want to. Get all the flames spot on, really work the shape of them, get them really crisp and neat. Ideally, if you're trying to properly paint up flames for something, you'd want to be shading the shoulder pad first before you start doing it. As it is, I'm just doing this onto the black base coat of the Legion of the Damned Space Marine. Once you've got those rough shapes, you want to fill that in and give it a nice crisp coat. So the next colour that we're going to use is the shade Citadel Fuegan Orange. What we're going to do here is we're going to start adding it to the top kind of 2/3 of the flames. Now you can work it down into that base part as well. It's entirely up to you how far down you go with the orange and the red that we'll be adding afterwards. But you basically want to be darkening up the tops of each of the flames. The flame will be brighter at the bottom, getting darker as it gets towards the top. So working back on the shoulder pad now. So you're working that orange all the way down the tallest sections of the flame. If you're leaving little bits of yellow to the sides of it, it doesn't matter too much because you will have bits of yellow flame going up the side where it's getting darker. You do have the yellow working its way throughout most flames, so you would be able to put that on and be quite happy with that. I said in the previous clip, if you are doing it and want to get it smoother, it just takes a lot more time on it. That's all you'd need to do is build it up slowly, work it on it, and if you're using the shades and stuff like that, you'll see me using Yriel yellow shortly, adding little traces of yellow going up from the bottom up those flames and working into the orange and the red too. You can do that with all of the colours if you use orange paints rather than the shades, but for stuff like this I do just use the shades because it makes it a lot easier to work with. So next we're going to be using Citadel Carroburg Crimson. I'm going to be doing the tops of the flames, so probably about the top third of each flame. Like with the previous layers, we're just going to work this into maybe the top third of each of the flames just to darken them up. You want to make sure that you're leaving little bits of the orange and the yellow showing through in certain points too, just so you've got that nice kind of mix of the yellow, orange and red. I'll link up the flames video where you're painting model flames, whereas using the Master of Possession, the Chaos Space Marine miniature. If you watch that, it's basically the same method of painting the flames that I use on that I'm using here. Obviously this is just painted on rather than actually modelled on. So that's finished. We're now going to use Citadel Yriel yellow. I'm just going to add a little bit of a brighter yellow at the base of each of the flame sections. We're also going to do some little thin lines running up into the flames as well to represent sort of that brighter piece of flame going over some of the darker areas. You can see here you've got that brighter bit of yellow at the bottom, and small thin lines of the yellow working into the flames just to brighten up certain areas and add a little bit more of that yellow colour back to the fire. And the final thing that we do is we use a little bit of Vallejo Black, or whichever black you're using, and we're just going to go around all the flames. And just tidy them up so there's no overspill, and it's all very neat and smooth where it joins onto the black. Then once you've done that, you're all done. I've thrown up a couple of pictures of the finished miniature at the end, and I'll show you how the flames look all in all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Also, think about subscribing to some of our other social media linked below. Thanks very much. If you like the channel, you enjoy the content, and you'd like to support us, our Ko-fi and Patreon pages are linked below. Thanks very much.